destiny, coincidences. I don't believe in any of that, and neither should you. See, when you start believing in fate or something outside of you, you stop believing in your own power. And hey, I get it. It is much easier to blame everything that's going wrong in your life on some entity instead of taking responsibility for it. But I truly believe, and I will help you believe as well, that fate, coincidences, everything else is the effect, and you and I are the cause. Everything in your life that happens is planned, yes, but you are the one who's planning it. You plan it when you choose to keep focusing and talking about the same things over and over and over again. Coincidence might not be real, but synchronicities sure as heck are. You will always get what you are looking for. So you might ask me, then why is it that you're looking for 1,000,000 subs and you haven't gotten them? I'll tell you why. It's because even though I am looking for it, the little thing inside of me that is calling all the shots, she doesn't think I deserve it. Maybe she doesn't believe in me. Maybe she doesn't think I'm worthy, or maybe she doesn't think that it is safe for me to receive it, to receive that level of being seen. Does that mean I should give up and say, hey, maybe it just wasn't in my destiny? Absolutely not. Because all I have to do is convince the thing inside of me, and the thing inside of me is my self-perception. She believes whatever she does because I made her believe that. Every time I broke down over a mean comment, every time I procrastinated when things started going well, every time I focused on the 100 people who liked my posts instead of the 100 people who liked my post, she was making notes. She isn't biased, she is fair. She believes that you want what you focus on because honestly, why would you ever focus on something that you don't even want? So she tries her best to give you that. She tries her best to give you what you're constantly talking about, what you're constantly asking for. You think your boss sucks? You keep talking about it to every single person in your life? Okay, she's listening. So now all she has to do is give you more reasons to hate your boss because clearly that's what you like talking about. That's what you're looking for. The biggest example of this, and it might be right in front of you, is how bad things happen to good people. And anybody who believes in that belief as well as believes that they're a good person, they're gonna see bad things happening to them all the time. Similarly, if you look at people who think they're good people and they also believe that the wealthy people, the rich group, they do bad things, they will never be financially abundant in their lives even though they could have been, because it's even more important for good people to have money. Another example is of arrogant people who get famous while somebody who is working so hard might not get there easily. And the reason is that the arrogant people, they truly believe that they're the shit. But the person that's constantly working hard every single day, putting in days and nights to get there, they clearly believe that they have to work hard to deserve something. While the arrogant people believe that their existence is enough. And that is why the most famous people, if you look at them, they're just living their life. They're not trying to impress anybody. They have the energy of, hey, I am living my life. You can come along and watch me or not, but I know that my life is interesting. They have that energy. They believe they're the shit. Your life isn't just something that happens to you. It is something that you actively create. There's somebody who's calling the shots, and that is you. Religion calls it God, manifestation calls it law of attraction, and science calls it the placebo effect. But it all comes down to one thing: with faith, you can create your destiny. So it doesn't really make much sense for me to think that I have no power over my life, because that may satisfy my ego because, hey, it's not my fault, it just wasn't meant to be. But if you could shut it up, you could also see that everything that is going right is also because of you. Now, if you could just double down on the things that are working in your favor and try to figure out what your inner life believes about your life with everything that's going bad, you have the ultimate master plan to the best life you could ever get. And you'll be creating that. You literally have a genie in your pocket. You just need to understand the language. Neville Goddard says that we don't have free will. He says that when you sleep at night, the last thoughts that you have, they keep repeating in your subconscious mind, and the next morning, whatever you do, you're thinking that you're calling the shots, but you're not. You have already been wired to act a certain way the entire day. And that is how people are creating their lives. They're sleeping, talking about things they don't want, they're complaining about things they don't want, and then they fall asleep, and the next morning they get up and they do the same things to manifest the same life. And the cycle goes on. And that makes sense because when we sleep, our subconscious is open, or you can say your God is hearing you. You just can't physically talk at the time. It listens to the thoughts that you've been thinking about, and it tries to figure out what you believe about your life so it can create more of that. If you think about it, we have like 6,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And you are only aware, like your conscious self is only aware of about 5% of that. On top of that, 80% of those thoughts are negative and 95% of those thoughts are repetitive. Now, these repetitive thoughts, they are what's creating your fate because that is what you're focusing on. That's what you're talking about. That's what you're always thinking. And you end up giving your judgments, making your beliefs, and taking actions based on this little 5% that you're consciously aware of. So it makes sense then that if you actually let the negative thoughts take over you, you will create a different reality compared to if you were consciously choosing your thoughts and creating your fate and creating your reality. This is why you get stuck with the wrong relationships or friendships. This is why you're stuck in your job that you hate. It all comes down to what your inner voice believes is right for you and you deserve. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be right, but it has to be safe. If something hurt you deeply in the past, your brain will always try to keep you safe from it. It'll always try to prevent you from going in that direction. It doesn't just care about not letting you get near the thing, it cares about not letting you get near the feeling of the thing, even if the feeling is what you want now. For example, if being in front of people was ever traumatizing for you, suppose you were made to stand for an extempore at the last minute and you got embarrassed, and that was traumatizing for you, because traumatizing has its own levels. Because for kids, being lost in a shop can be traumatizing. If something impacted you deeply, that was traumatizing for you. And if that was the case, if you want to do something that requires you to be seen, so suppose you want to be an influencer, you want to be an actor, you want to be a singer, your brain will do everything it can to stop you from going in that direction. It'll make you procrastinate, it'll put you in analysis paralysis, it'll even go as far as to get you sick, and you think that it's evil eye, but it's not. It is just your subconscious trying to prevent you from the feeling of being seen. Now, if you're constantly procrastinating, or maybe you keep turning your account private, you tell yourself, you convince yourself that maybe it just wasn't meant for you. The thing is, it was meant for you. Because you get to choose what's meant for you. You get to decide what's meant for you. And there's literally no limit. Sky is the limit. So all you really have to do is look within yourself and try to figure out if what you're trying to do is giving you a feeling that was at any point unsafe for you, or at any point you felt like you didn't deserve it or you weren't worthy of it. If it's too much to handle, I really suggest that you talk through it with a therapist, because they can help you through it. But once your subconscious starts to feel safe in it, I promise you it will actually help you in the process. I always thought that I couldn't really talk to myself if I wanted to get up early, because my brain would talk me out of it. But you know, recently what happened, I've been meditating. I woke up, I shut the alarm off, and I went back to bed, and my brain talked me out of it. It talked me out of sleeping more. It told me everything that could be exciting if I just got up, and I ended up getting up. My brain that I thought would never help me, it was actually pushing me to get up and focus on my goals, because now my subconscious feels safe, and earlier maybe it didn't feel safe to do that. So you too will see that once your subconscious feels safe doing something, it will support it, and it will change your destiny, because you change your destiny. This goes for everything. Being seen, asking for money. Do you always hesitate in asking for money from your clients, or negotiating, haggling? That all comes down to what you think, what your relationship with money is, and how your subconscious thinks your relationship with money is. All you have to do is work on that, instead of thinking, maybe I'm just not meant to be rich. Everybody is meant to be rich, okay? Universe is abundant. If your parents gave birth to you have access to their wealth, right? Similarly, universe brought you on this planet. It gave you life, so you have access to its abundance. Just remember that. It is in your destiny to be wealthy, to be successful, to be everything that you ever wanted to be. It is never in anybody's destiny to fail. So you can watch every single book on manifestation, you can watch every single podcast on it, you can understand everything about it, but unless your subconscious either finds you worthy, deserving, and it feels safe receiving it, it will block you. It will block your manifestations. And if you're constantly wondering, why isn't it working? You know everything. Why isn't it just working for you? It is because of that. It is because your subconscious still does not feel safe or doesn't think you're worthy of what you're asking for. It is not fate. Fate is something that you use as an excuse because you don't want to do the inner work. So unless your God believes that you deserve it, it'll always keep success at an arm's length. If you want to know more about how we create events in our life, about our past events, creating our future events, you should watch this video next. I'm really glad that you watched it till the end. I promise you are meant for everything you want and more. So don't give up on yourself. Don't believe in this fate crap, because that is just for losers who don't want to take accountability for their own lives. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.